Okay, hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's Random Robmega here, back with another video. And today we're about to do something a little bit different. It's gonna be kind of like a blog, something like that. But I wanted to talk to y'all today about, my experiences with video games. Shoot, I've been playing games like, I would say like, I don't know, I feel like since I was born, I was already ready to play some games. But look, today we about to, just do like a quick little list of, games that kind of inspired me to like, I guess, become a gamer, and that made me love this medium and all that type of stuff. So, I'm gonna have like some gameplay in the background or whatever, but all right, let's start and talk about these games. All right, we're gonna go from 1990 all the way to 1999. You know what I mean? And the games that I had or I, experienced and stuff like that. So, all right, so the first game, the first system I remember actually getting was the SNES, Super Nintendo. I remember that, and the game that I had with it was Super Mario World. Yeah, that shit. I guess it probably came with the system. I don't remember, but I do remember that was like one of my first games. That was 1990. I was born in 1989, so like, a year later, wow, Mario World came out and I was already thirsty trying to play, some games. All right. So moving on to 1991. All right. 1991. I had a Super Nintendo, but my older brother had a Sega, and one of the games he had on there was Sonic the Hedgehog, or Sonic 1, whatever you want to call it. But that game was so raw to me, and then my older brother showed me the codes, like the cheat codes and stuff, like how you do the level select, and then you had a debug mode on there too. Like, my brother knew that. This was before the internet, before any of that stuff. So I don't know how he learned that, but I remember that. That was like one of my first, actually the first time seeing a secret. Yeah. So boom, Sonic 1, and then another game that came out on Sega that we used to play was Streets of Rage, the first one, with Axel, Adam, and Blaze. The game was difficult as hell. You know what I mean? And we used to play that game faithfully because it was 2 players, and shoot. And nobody wanted to just watch you play the game. They want to play together. So, boom. All right, moving on. Next, 1992. Okay, 1992. On the Super Nintendo, I remember playing Street Fighter. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. I remember playing that, learning the moves, and my brother teaching me how to do the moves, like the Hadoukens and Shoryukens, and blah blah blah. Shoot, just the whole aesthetic of playing a fighting game. He taught me that, and then on the Sega side we had Sonic 2. That game was it was off the charts. It was man, it looked beautiful. It played fucking wonderful. You know what I mean? The colors, the speed. He was able to turn into Super Sonic on there. Man, oh my gosh, that game was so raw. Sonic 2, man, a classic game, one of the most classic games of all time. Boom, another game we had on Genesis or Sega in 1992 was Streets of Rage 2. Okay, Streets of Rage 2 was the game that started me loving beat 'em up games. Hell yeah, we used to play this game together. You know what I mean? Just trying to beat it, and trying to, like, as a kid, it was difficult, like, to like fully beat a game or whatever. But shoot, we used to try that stuff every day. It didn't matter. We would start it up and try it again. Look, let's go. All right, man. But yeah, it was a couple more games on Genesis and on Super Nintendo. But but those three games really, put like something on me. Like, what I mean, like it got me to enjoy those type of games. Fighting games and games that you play together, and then Sonic. You know what I mean? It was like a faster version of Mario. All right, the next year was 1993. 1993, oh my God, it was a great year for Super Nintendo and for Sega too. Boom, in 1993 they came out with one of my favorite games of all time, Mega Man X. This game was the truth, the motherfucking truth. Oh my gosh, I cannot express this to the fullest. Come on now. As you can see, my name is Random Robmega, and where the hell did I get that from? It was because I loved Mega Man so much. Like, that game, it's like I just love that game so much, man. And it was boom. They had the game, then they had the show that came out, Super Fighting Robot. Yeah, they had that came out. That shit was raw too. But that, like, boom. But the game was really what got me into, platformers, beating games myself without my brother's help, and, really going through. Boom, I love that game so much. Boom, another game that came out on Sega was Mortal Kombat. Boom, Mortal Kombat was kind of special because you had like the blood code that you can put in, and then it was different than the Super Nintendo version. Super Nintendo version didn't have any blood. Sega, you can put in the blood code and have blood and do fatalities and actually see like the full effect of that. And boom, since I already was playing Street Fighter, when we moved on to Mortal Kombat, I was on it. I was ready, man. I was like, what? It's kind of like the same thing, you know what I mean? Like, doing Hadoukens was kind of like how you do Sub-Zero's freeze. Boom, it was raw. Boom. Another game after that, 1994. Boom, what we had on Super Nintendo, we had Donkey Kong Country. This game was raw. It was like phenomenal. Sorry, there was a game that, like, they use like 3D models, on a 2D space. Boom. Nobody ever heard of that type of stuff. Like, so the graphics looked amazing. The gameplay was amazing, you know what I mean? With the platforming, it was even faster paced than Sonic and Super Mario World, and it was just a good ass game. And then the music, oh my God, Donkey Kong Country has some of the best music ever. You know what I mean? Just look up the underwater theme or something like that. I forgot what it's actually called, but look that up. And that was like a perfect song to go to sleep to do other stuff too, but we ain't even talk about that. But all right, we're gonna move on to the next year, 1995. Boom, 1995. We got a great game on Super Nintendo, Super Metroid. I was already playing the game like Metroid with Mega Man X, but Mega Man X was way more faster paced. But Super Metroid allowed you to actually, it was like the what's it called, Metrovania, that's what they call them nowadays, but it was like one of my first versions of that type of game, you know what I mean? Just trying to figure everything out by myself, you know what I mean? Finally beat that game by myself, no help from nobody, you know what I mean? Well, from my older brother or anything like that, but I was still on it. Beat that game like a hell of times. I still want to play it again, boom. Another game that came out in 1995 was Six Pack. It was like 6 games on like on a cartridge on Sega, and you got like a lot of games like Sonic, Street Charade, Super Hang On, Columns. You had a lot of different games, you know what I mean? So I remember we used to play the hell out of that 6 pack. It was just like boom, hella games on there. It was raw. Boom, 1996. We got what do we got? We got Mario 64. came out in 1996. Oh my gosh, this was the first 3D, type of game that, fast paced, actually using this 3D technology, and it was great. Like, everybody loved Super Mario 64, and people still play that to this day, like speedrunners and, just people, they just dropped it again on the Switch. People still love that game. Like, I still love the game too. I haven't played it in a minute, but shit, if I could, I would. Another game that came out on 64 was Mario Kart. Come on now. If you had a 64, you had multiple controllers, boom, Mario Kart was a must-have. To play with your friends, to go through the Grand Prix together, or to have like a battle, and that was pretty fun, that Mario Kart, that was raw. And then another game that came out in 1996 was actually on the PlayStation. This is when PlayStation, 64 and PlayStation kind of dropped around the same time. So boom, but on PlayStation, one of the first games that they dropped was Crash Bandicoot. My friend had this game, and it was like, it was raw. I liked it, just to be able to play a game on PS1, I was fucking with it. Crash, what? That was nice. Boom. Okay, 1997. Okay, we're gonna keep going on with the PlayStation. We had Crash 2. Like, what the fuck? It was even better than Crash 1. It was like the gameplay was more refined, It had extra raw levels, It was kind of a little bit easier than Crash 1, because Crash 1 was pretty difficult, but it was still fun as heck. It was so fun that they continued the series and, ended up making a Crash 3, soon after. But boom, another game that was on there was one of my favorite games ever, Mega Man X4. Man, oh my gosh, this was the first time that Mega Man was off of the Super Nintendo. He was on PlayStation with better graphics, new anime cutscenes. What else they have? They had just reworked new sprite work. You was able to play with Zero. You can either choose who you wanted to play with, Mega Man X or Zero. Man, it was a raw game. They had voiceovers and stuff like that. But even the voices was kind of trash. But hey, as a kid, I loved that stuff. I didn't care. I didn't care, man. Like, what are we fighting for? Yes, I love that shit, man. Boom. Mega Man X4. That was another one. And then another game that came out in 1997 was one of my favorite fucking RPGs of all time. Final Fantasy VII. Yes, that game came out in 97. I played it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I didn't care. I did not care at all. It was RPG. My dude Cloud and Tifa, and they were just raw. Man, that game was just legendary, and then it got me into really into RPGs. Like, no way. After that, I was trying to play any game that had RPG in the title or RPG on the back of it. It was like I was ready to play that shit. Man, all right, we gotta move on. All right, in 1998, we got on 64, we got Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Oh my gosh, this game was phenomenal. Some people say it's like one of the best games ever. I could not disagree, because like this is one of my most remembered games. Even if I haven't played it in years, I still remember it so vividly, because it had so much of an impact on just me as a gamer and me in this gaming space. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Oh my gosh, man. And then just the whole simple fact that you was young Link and then you had to grow up. Man, oh my god, that shit was so raw. Boom. Another game that came out on PlayStation this time was Metal Gear. Like, oh my gosh. Metal Gear. Yeah. Otacon. Like, yeah, like, oh my gosh. Now, that game was so raw. man, I was playing my cousin's version and stuff, and I was just playing and just like, it was just a new game. Like, you know, I've never played nothing like this. And man, and it was like, oh, that game was just so great. Man, that game got me into any of the other, into the Metal Gear series, you know, even though Metal Gear has been out before, Metal Gear Solid on the PS1, you know what I mean? But after that, I was playing every Metal Gear after that. Boom. And also on the Game Boy or Game Boy Color, they came out with Pokemon. Yep, Pokemon came out in 1998. Boom. That game was raw. I think I had it. I think I had Pokemon Red or Blue or one of those, but I remember my brother had it. And shoot, that was just the start of, you know, thirsting up on more RPGs. All right, and then last but not least, 1999 on 64, we had Super Smash Brothers. Oh my gosh, yes, that game came out. I swear, I think it came out like close to my birthday or something. I got it on my birthday, and I was thirsty, turning up. Oh my gosh. And as I said, if you had controllers, like multiple controllers, you was able to get it in with your friends, you know. And this was like one of the first games like that, you know, before we got like how Epic Smash is now. This was like the beginning, like, you know, with the, you know, ridiculous looking polygons. But hey, man, we knew what we liked, and it was raw as hell to us. Sorry, Super Smash Brothers. And another game that came out on Nintendo 64 was Mario Party. There was another game that was 4 players that you can get all your friends and your family together, and y'all can play together, and you can have a good ass time. You know what I mean? It was, I think I got Mario Party before I got Smash Brothers, but either or, man, it was raw as heck, man. Those times were some of the best times. Like, I can remember, like, growing up playing these games, you know, turning up with my friends, you know what I mean? Living through these stories, you know what I mean? Learning this stuff, you know what I mean? It just really set in. Like, it was just like, wow, like, I fucking love video games. Like, I can't help it. I love these bitches. Like, this shit is just too fun. Like, man. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I consider myself as a retro gamer because I love like old school games. But hey, but it's just like where you came up from, where you grew up from. That's okay. But yeah, like I just want to give you a little brief history on the games I remember, or games that I felt like had like some of what of impact to me. You know what I mean? It's other games on there. I mean, other games that I remember playing, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, like another Super 64 game like Star Fox, that was a good game. Another Super Nintendo game, Mario RPG, that was a great game. You know, that's what I'm saying. Mega Man X came out, but they came out with 2 more Mega Man X's on there, Mega Man X2, Mega Man X3. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of games, a lot of raw stuff that came out, like from 1990 to 1999. It was some good gaming years. All right though, but shoot, you know, I guess I ran it enough, and you know, but I don't know. I just wanted to, I guess, give y'all a little brief insight on my gaming history. And you know, if you like this and you want to see more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe. All right, this is Random Robmega, and I'm out.